Hey, it's Grady at Twin Creek Audio, and today I'm going to do some tracking with this analog setup. I set this up in the last video, so make sure to go back and watch that video for how I connected this Tascam M35 mixing console to the Fostex R8 analog tape machine. And today I'm going to actually track some things using this setup. The Tascam M35 is a split design console, meaning it has a separate tape monitor section that's up here on the M35. A lot of the other videos I've made about tracking on a console were using the Soundtrax Topaz or the Soundcraft Sapphire, both of which are considered inline recording consoles. So today we're going to see how to use a split design console like the Tascam M35 with an analog tape machine. First thing I want to do is record an acoustic guitar track. So I have a dynamic mic plugged into the microphone input on the Tascam M35. The Sennheiser 421 is a dynamic microphone, which is great because the M35 doesn't have phantom power. So the Sennheiser 421 is plugged into the mic input of channel 6, and then I have the direct switch down to send that to the tape machine, and I don't have any of the other switches down, and I'll show you why in a minute. So over here we want to arm track 6 on the R8, and we do that by pressing safe ready and then 6. So now you can see track 6 here is flashing that it's armed. So channel 6 direct output switch is on. Now how am I going to hear that? Well, I want this in input monitor mode for that channel, so I already had it in that mode, but you press the record button to put this into input monitor mode, and now you can see I've got level. So here you can see that's the mic input level on that control. The EQs are turned off in the center. We're going out of the direct out into the input of track 6 on the tape machine. So this is being recorded for this channel out of its direct output to 6. But in order to hear that, I need to go to the tape monitor section on the console. On the M35, this is always connected to the master section so I can hear it. So I just need to turn up number 6 right here. Oops, 7's up too. So I just need to raise channel 6 on the monitor section and make sure all of these are switched to tape. And right now they are, because I'm basically in tracking mode on the console. So I'm recording with the main channel here to track 6. The tape machine is in input monitor mode, and so it's sending the signal that's coming into 6 back to the tape input on the console, and then that's showing up right here. This goes into my headphones, so that's what we're hearing. You notice I'm not sending this signal anywhere else other than the direct output. I could do it that way too. I don't have to necessarily monitor this way, but this is the way it was done for, a band in the studio. You'd use this and then these tape cues up here, which are auxiliary sends for these tape monitor channels. These also have the collar on the bottom that would allow you to pan them left and right in the monitor mix. So we have our own independent monitor mix, so anything I do over here in the monitor section is not affecting what's going to tape. I'm not using a click track this time just for simplicity's sake, but of course if you wanted to use a click, you would want to record that to one of the tracks on the tape machine first and then play to the click that's already on tape, because tape machines are not as accurate as digital, so there may be a little bit of time slippage, so you would want to record that first. So let's record some acoustic. Now I'm getting ready to record some drums along with that acoustic guitar that I laid down before. I had to change the setup a little bit to accomplish this the way that I want to. I removed the connections from the direct outputs to tracks 1 and 2 on the Fostex R8 tape machine, and I have instead connected those to the subgroup outputs 1 and 2, or buses 1 and 2. So now I have a pair of subgroups that are feeding tracks 1 and 2 on the tape machine. If we arm the tracks on the tape machine and we put the tape machine in input monitor mode, then we could see the levels going into the machine. Now the levels coming out of the machine are coming back to the tape inputs, and that's the monitor section for the tape returns is right here. So when you're in tracking mode with this console, these controls are meant to set your levels for your musician's headphone mix and maybe your own mix as well in the studio, so that these levels over here aren't changing a lot. So we've got a stereo drum submix here being sent to subgroups 1 and 2, going to tracks 1 and 2 on the tape machine, coming back to the monitor section 1 and 2, which I have panned hard left and right to preserve this stereo mix that I'm printing to the tape. Now I want to overdub some bass. So what I've done is I used a Countryman DI, which actually requires phantom power. So I had to use an external phantom power unit, and after that I ran it into channel 7 on the Tascam M35 console. So it's running into the mic input of the M35, and then I have the direct button down here, so that's sending it to the input of track number 7 on the Fostex R8 tape machine. So we need to arm that track. So we've got track 7 armed now, and let's see, we need to put it into input monitor mode. And now I can hear the bass. And we're actually hearing the bass back through the monitor section on the console over here. That's on number 7 right here. So we've got drums here, the original acoustic guitar track here, and then this new bass track here. That means that I can change the level of this bass now in my mix, or in a musician's mix or a client's mix if I was recording for someone else, and it won't change the level that's going to the tape machine here from the main channel. Let's record some bass. That's good enough for the purposes of this video anyway. We just overdubbed a bass track. I think I'm going to put one more overdub on this with this electric guitar. I've got a little floor amp at my feet, the Hot Tone Britwind Nano Legacy floor amp, and I have the cab simulated XLR output feeding channel 8 here on the console. So again, I'm using the direct switch to send this straight to the direct out, which is patched to track 8 on the Fostex R8 tape machine, and I've armed track 8. We see we can arm track 8, and so make sure we've got signal, and we have signal. Our signal again is coming back to our monitor section, so we're not sending this anywhere else, just straight to the tape machine. It's of course going through the tape machine from the input to the output if we're in record monitor mode or input monitor mode here. And of course it's going to automatically do that also. There's also an automatic mode, so it will record whenever you're actually recording, and then otherwise if the track is armed, it'll play the audio that you're recording so you can set the levels. So here are all of the tracks playing back through the console using just the tape monitor section. So there's no reverb or any kind of effects. This is purely the tape playing back through the simple monitor section mixer on the Tascam M35. I'm going to stop this video here, and in the next video I'm going to do the final mix down of the tracks that I recorded in this video through the Tascam M35, and I'll be connecting some external processing gear to the mixer for the next video. So make sure to check back on the channel for that. Also, you can check out the other videos I've made with the Tascam M35 and the Fostex R8 in the meantime. And of course, watching more of my videos here on the channel does help support the channel. In fact, that's one of the best ways to support the channel, is just by watching more videos. So make sure to check those links in the video description. And I appreciate everyone for watching. Thank you so much to all the new subscribers. I hope everyone out there has an excellent and wonderful day, night, evening, weekend, weekday, hour, minute, second, nanosecond, whatever it is you're having. Have a good one. Thanks so much for watching.